Hello, in this video we'll be reviewing Speedgrader. So the first thing I did is I went into my Canvas course and I created an assignment, and I am going to allow multiple submissions for this assignment. I've set my due dates and I've assigned it to students, and I've waited until I've gotten feedback and submissions on that assignment. So at that point I'm just going back into my assignments and then into my desired assignment that I'm going to use Speedgrader on. On this far right side, I'm going to click on Speedgrader and it's going to open in a new window. After that has opened, it's going to first open the first submission alphabetically. So just looking through some of these good details up here, I'm going to see the student's name on this far right hand side. If you click this drop down, you'll see the name of all your students. So if you know you're just wanting to look at one specific student, you could click that name and just jump to that rather than having to arrow over several times to review that assignment. The reason that this student has a black dot beside her name is that means that she has submitted, and these other two do not have a black dot, which means they have not submitted. And then we're going to look at the details here. So if it is a online submission, then it's going to default to paper view. However, you can toggle that over to plain text view if that's the view that you prefer. Additionally, if you are here to look at the details of that submission, if you see this drop down, then that means that you can look at the different submissions that specific student made. So that means that my student Lori Browning has submitted on October 25th at 10:43. And I can click there to view that submission. She has also submitted October 25th at 10:45. So if I wanted to review this submission, this was a URL submission. So this is a really great thing to look at because it's going to include a snapshot of what the page looked like when it's submitted. So if you're asking them to do something on a website and just submit that link, it's going to include this snapshot for you to be able to review. That way, if changes are made to that, then you know what it looked like versus when it was submitted versus what it looks like now. So that's a really great thing to just note there. And if I'm going to toggle back to the submission here, then I'm going to show you the other great details. So the first thing I see is word count. So if you have a minimum word count, then you would be able to see that here. And if they submitted files, you would see the number of files here. And if there were files to download or to load, you could click this here and it would do that for you. Here's where you put your grade. So I'm going to give the student a 10 out of 10 and just hit enter on that. And you will see that several things changed up here. This changed from a black dot to a check mark. Now it shows that I've graded 1 out of the 3 students, and it shows in an average what Lori made on this assignment. Other great things to look at here, if you want to do a comment on that assignment, then that's a great way to give feedback to your students if you're wanting them to make changes and resubmit. So if you scroll this down, in this view, it's kind of easy just to see here, but if you scroll down just a little bit more, you'll see some really great features. So I'm just going to type test here, just so that way this won't be a very long video. And there's some basic features here such as underline, bold, italicize, and if you're wanting to change the look here, then you can do this drop down. Additionally, if you're wanting to link something externally or a course link, you can add that link here. There is the math equation as well, and then the bulleted list. Additionally, some things that you could see is you can include an emoji. However, I would not just include an emoji here. I would make sure you actually include some feedback for that student to use in the future. Other good things that you see here is you can attach a file in that assignment or in the comment section. You can also record a short video or a short screen capture if you're wanting to give feedback for students to see in that capacity as well. Another great thing here is that there's speech recognition. So once you have what you need here, then you can just hit submit on that. But before hitting submit, you will want to check that accessibility here. So Speedgrader and Instructure has that built-in accessibility feature. So you can just check that just to make sure that it is accessible for your students and there were no issues detected. If there were issues detected, then it would flag it and you have the option to resolve those accessibility issues here. At that point, if everything has been typed incorrectly, you have checked the accessibility, then you have the option of hitting submit. And I did want Lori to redo this assignment, so you have the reassign feature. So in a separate video that I had made, I did the option of reassigning to Lori. So I do not have the option of clicking it here because I have already clicked that and reassigned that to her. However, if you review this and maybe you see that your student just really didn't understand what was going on with that assignment, or you need to give some more time, you do have the option of reassigning it to your student for them to see there. Another thing to see is that once you actually type and put everything you want to submit, it will go here to assignment comments. And if it's something that maybe you didn't want to write here, maybe you accidentally press submit too soon, you do have the option of just clicking X here and then OK, and then that would delete it for you to be able to type again. And from that point, you can just go to your next student, whichever students you desire to review. And then once you're done, you are finished. So that is just a brief overview of Speedgrader. If there's some questions that you're having or some things that you're wanting to look at, our team would be happy to do that. Just book a session to meet with us. Thanks and have a great day.